All right. Better do better. The LAPD withdraws Kamala Harris's security detail after backlash. All right, let's get into it. This from the BIN. Former Vice President Kamala Harris has lost her Los Angeles Police Department security detail, which she was granted after President Donald Trump canceled her Secret Service protection. Last month, Trump revoked Harris's Secret Service protection after former President Joe Biden had ordered an extension through July 2026 before leaving office. California officials, including Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and Governor Gavin Newsom, slammed the cancellation, calling the move erratic and vindictive. Bass authorized the LAPD to guard Harris in response. However, Bass's order sparked backlash from the Los Angeles Police Protective League, which claimed that the reassignment of LAPD officers compromised public safety. Quote, pulling police officers from protecting everyday Angelenos to protect a failed presidential candidate who also happens to be a multimillionaire with multiple homes and who can easily afford to pay for her own security is nuts, unquote, the union board said in a statement. The board also took aim at Newsom, saying, quote, the mayor should tell Governor Newsom that if he wants to curry favor with Ms. Harris and her donor base, then he should open up his own wallet because LA taxpayers should not be footing the bill for this ridiculousness, unquote. LAPD has since withdrawn its protective detail per The Independent. The California Highway Patrol reportedly offered to take over Harris's security duties, but it's unclear whether that offer was accepted. Harris is currently preparing for a 15-city book tour to promote her memoir, 107 Days. It's likely she or her publisher will need to hire private security for the events. Okay. So I'll go first here, but I want to know what you think here because I always learn from you. And I'm sure that our listeners do too. But one of the things that jumped out to me here is that obviously this police union, whatever this organization is, what are they called? Los Angeles Police Protective League. Obviously, these are Trumpers. I can tell because they called her a failed politician and then or a failed presidential candidate. And then they said that this is like ridiculousness. This is like kind of like inflammatory language. This isn't something that's like, hey, we don't have the resources. This is beyond the scope of our job. You know, we're very sorry, but you know, we would.
Yeah, they're not being pragmatic. They're being political.
There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. So there's that. So they've kind of showed their hand, but that's why I'm able to use this against them. See how they like took aim at Kamala Harris and not at Donald Trump. So Joe Biden says, hey, the climate in this country is pretty hot out there. I get Secret Service for the rest of my life. My family, we're going to be okay. Donald Trump already has Secret Service for the rest of his life because he was already the president. Kamala Harris was never the president. She doesn't have anything to take with her. And this campaign that she's running to try to create a better country will cost her personally into the future after she's done serving the public. It doesn't matter how much money she has, it will cost her. Like the job still costing her money is kind of crazy. So Joe Biden says, let's extend, I'm not going to give it to her forever. Let's extend it, give her a long enough runway to let the country cool off. Okay. Seems sensible, right? Nobody's mad at that. It seems sensible. And I think any reasonable person would say, okay, we don't want people to die in politics. Well, some reasonable people would say, well, reasonable people would say that, yeah. Unreasonable people would say something different. Donald Trump then revokes that. Revokes it. And the LAPD is mad at Kamala Harris because they have to protect her. They're not mad at Donald Trump. Nobody's taking issue with Donald Trump. This is, hey, I'm not a protect a multimillionaire with multiple houses. That's not the point. The point is she served the public. She served the interests of the United States of America. She carries the United States secrets. She is a national treasure for the rest of her life. Every single vice president and every single president and the first lady, they are national treasures. That's how we regard them. Full stop. They get libraries, they get streets named after them, they get all that sort of stuff, the royal treatment, and it stands forever. And these people just showed their hand. And that is shameful. They better do better. Q, talk to me. Any thoughts?
Way more than we have time for. The police union says pulling a few officers for Harris compromises public safety. But when the LAPD sends hundreds of officers to celebrity parties, parades, film premieres,
I didn't even think of that.
no outrage.
Yeah.
They've been protecting Trump's kids. They weren't the president, but his kids get Secret Service protection on their personal trips. Mm. No one bats an eye when the National Guard was mobilized to intimidate and harass peaceful citizens. That's apparently fine, but a former vice president needing protection after being stripped for political reasons, oh my God, that's where we got to draw the line. So let's call it what it is, like you pointed out. Mad at Harris and not Trump. Mad at protection, not militarization. Safety isn't really what they're talking about here, bro. This is overtly political and overtly from the voice of MAGA. And the fact that people can't see the double standard here tells you everything you need to know.